Hello and welcome to India Business Hour. I'm Shireen Bhan. The headlines that we're tracking for you this evening. 49 Lok Sabha seats across 6 states and 2 union territories go to the polls in the 5th phase. This phase completes the polling season in Maharashtra. Sporadic incidents of violence reported in West Bengal. Business leaders and movie stars turn up at the polling booths in Mumbai as it votes in phase 5, but the turnout is largely subdued, which is usual across India's financial capital and its suburbs. Lucknow, Amethi and Raebareli vote in the high-stakes battle between the BJP and the Congress-SP alliance in UP. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is contesting from Lucknow, Rahul Gandhi from Raebareli, Smriti Irani fighting to retain her seat in Amethi. 5 Lok Sabha seats in Odisha and 35 assembly constituencies go to the polls. The state is holding elections for its assembly and parliamentary seats simultaneously. Biju Janata Dal Supremo Naveen Patnaik eyes a record 6th term as Chief Minister. Prime Minister Modi says Odisha will have a double-engine government for the first time. Iran declares 5 days of mourning after President Ibrahim Raisi is killed in a helicopter crash. The first Vice President Mohammad Mukhbar appointed interim president. Prime Minister Modi says India stands with Iran in its hour of grief. The chief prosecutor at the International Criminal Court seeks arrest warrants against Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu, and the leader of Hamas, Yahya Sinwar, accuses the Israeli and Hamas leadership of war crimes and crimes against humanity. India's banking sector reports combined annual profit of over 3 lakh crore rupees for the first time in FY24. PSU banks report a combined annual profit of 1.41 lakh crore rupees. Prime Minister Modi calls it a remarkable turnaround in the last 10 years. If we can incentivize semiconductors, why not healthcare, asks Arvind Lal and Om Prakash Manchanda, the men driving Dr. Lal Pathlabs. They speak to CNBC-TV18 as the diagnostics major completes 75 years. From Ladakh to Lucknow, from Mumbai to UP, 49 seats across 6 states and 2 union territories went to polls in the 5th phase of the Lok Sabha elections. With this, polling is concluded across 428 Lok Sabha seats. Remember, this is the phase where the fewest number of Lok Sabha seats have gone to the polls. A total of 695 candidates are in the fray. The BJP had won 32 of the 49 seats in 2019. First up, Maharashtra, which wraps up its polling season. 13 seats in the state went to the polls, including those in the financial capital of Mumbai. Voting across the 6 Mumbai constituencies, along with those in suburban Thane, Bhiwandi and Palghar, largely remaining subdued. The BJP and the undivided Shiv Sena alliance had swept the Mumbai region in 2019. This time, the high-profile South Mumbai seat witnessing a battle between 2 Shiv Sena factions. Arvind Sawant of the Uddhav Thackeray faction is up against Yamini Jadhav of the Eknath Shinde-led Shiv Sena. Corporate India turning up to vote in full force. Tata Group Chairman Emeritus Ratan Tata turning up at the polling booth to cast his vote today. Also, Tata Sons Chairman N. Chandrasekaran was one of the early voters at the polling booths. Mukesh Ambani, along with the Ambani family, Nita Ambani and Akash Ambani, also cast their votes at a polling booth in Malabar Hill. The Ambanis urging citizens to come out and exercise their franchise. Banking veteran and former HDFC chairman Deepak Parekh cast his vote in South Mumbai. Aditya Birla Group chairman Kumar Mangalam Birla, veteran investors, including the likes of Ramesh Damani, Radhakishan Damani, queued up outside polling booths as well. The film industry not far behind. King Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, Amir Khan, Akshay Kumar, Hrithik Roshan, Vidya Balan, Ranbir Kapoor, Deepika Padukone and many others cast their votes today.
Ma'am, what What message you give to people about voting?
Please go out and vote. It's our right and our responsibility to do so as a responsible citizen of our country.
ये मेरी सब अपने देशवासियों से अपील।
So important as a Indian citizen to vote. It's our right and our responsibility to vote. And I urge everybody in India to go out and exercise their right to vote. Thank you.
It's a moment of pride to participate in an election of 140 crore people, and if I remember correctly, about 97 crore voters. And just think about the logistics and the arrangements which go into it. The process of voting today was very smooth.
I only request everyone comes and votes. It's very, very important to exercise the franchise, and it's very important for the democracy. So I would request everyone to come and vote.
We need stability, we need good leadership at the center, which we've been having for the last 10 years. And so we hope that whichever party is elected, there's stability.
I think the startups have enough opportunity in our country, and that's how we've become kind of one of the top startup countries in the world. I think the problems lie somewhere else in terms of improving our quality of life, in improving the environment that we live in.
The agenda is there, it's not very well known, but there's some fractious issues that will come up to the parliament. For example, what does he do about the delimitation exercise? Does the South gain more seats, the North gain more seats? That will be there. The budget will come out in a few months after the election. That will be a huge mega event.
I'm just 19, and I urge all the young voters to come out and vote. I think that it's a true expression of democracy, and if you are an aware citizen, which the younger generation is, I think it's very important that you come and vote.
इसी को दिमाग में रखते हुए मैंने वोट किया, और उसी हिसाब से पूरा भारत वोट करे जो उनके दिमाग में सही लगे।
मैं सभी हिंदुस्तानियों को अपील करना चाहूँगा कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा परसेंटेज में लोग आए बाहर, हर एक इंसान बाहर आए और अपना वोट कास्ट करे, ये और हमारे इस विशाल लोकतंत्र का हिस्सा बने, इसका प्रोसेस बने। ये बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट है, ये सिर्फ मतलब हमारी जिम्मेदारी भी है कि हम आए और वोट करें।
Voters should come out in large numbers. A vote appeal to themselves. Study the candidates before you vote. Know what you're voting for.
बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है कि बहुत लंबी लाइन थी, इतने सारे लोगों को मैंने पहली बार वोटिंग बूथ पे देखा है, तो आई फील वेरी हैप्पी अबाउट इट। आई फील होपफुल कि सब आके वोट देंगे आज, किसी को आलस महसूस नहीं होनी चाहिए।
Well, Mumbai and Maharashtra are now done. 14 seats in UP went to the polls today. This includes Lucknow, where Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is contesting against the Samajwadi Party's Ravidas Mehrotra. Raebareli and Amethi, the other two high-profile seats in UP. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi contesting from Raebareli, the seat vacated by his mother and former party president Sonia Gandhi. He faces the BJP's Dinesh Pratap Singh. Meanwhile, Union Minister Smriti Irani, who defeated Rahul Gandhi in Amethi in 2019, contesting against Kishori Lal Sharma of the Congress. Abhimanyu Sharma joins us now from Amethi. Abhimanyu, many thanks for joining us. Take us through the mood across Amethi and Raebareli, the two high-stakes battles in UP this phase.
Well, indeed, it is a high-pitched battle in both Amethi as well as Raebareli. Both the seats have witnessed several members of the Gandhi family get elected in the past few decades to the parliament, though this time around there is no one from the Gandhi family in the fray to contest from Amethi. As far as Raebareli is concerned, Rahul Gandhi is contesting from here, and the BJP is expressing confidence of putting up a tough fight in Amethi. The sitting MP Smriti Irani is confident of a victory earlier too. She had spoken to the media. She had said that she's extremely confident about her prospects. Against her from the India Alliance is Congress's candidate Kishori Lal Sharma. Now, speaking of the electorate, the voters whom we spoke to in course of the day, there were varied opinions. Of course, there are voters who are favouring several parties, several camps. Many of them were appreciative and supportive of the measures taken by the union government as well as the state government of Uttar Pradesh. So there's clearly a huge supporter base both for PM Modi as well as CM Yogi Adityanath. However, there is a fair share of of detractors, fair share of people who are also questioning several policies of the government, particularly Agniveer and also the old pension scheme, which no longer exists. Several senior citizens, several voters whom we spoke to, they had pointed out that when the old pension system has already been junked decades back, why does the pension system still exist for legislators, be it MPs and MLAs, which continues to be a sore point for several voters. Now it remains to be seen till what extent there would be fragmentation of votes, because it's not just the India Alliance and the BJP, but also the BSP and several other small parties in the fray. So with the entry of independents and smaller parties, of course, fragmentation of votes is actually a big worry for big parties who actually fear losing out on several votes, either to namesake candidates or either to Nota or to independent candidates. And we have witnessed in the previous elections too that in several seats where the margin was extremely low, it was these swing votes itself which were cornered by several small parties and the independents, which actually made the difference. So whether fragmentation of votes would take place with respect to voting for the BSP or for any other independent candidate, that remains to be seen, whether that is going to help the BJP or whether that's going to help the India Alliance, because it's a battle for the BJP to lose since they have a large number of MPs in the state of Uttar Pradesh.
All right, Abhimanyu, many thanks for joining us. Abhimanyu Sharma there reporting from UP. Let's move now to Odisha. 5 Lok Sabha seats and 35 assembly constituencies going to the polls. The state is holding elections for its assembly and parliamentary seats simultaneously. Biju Janata Dal Supremo Naveen Patnaik eyeing a record 6th term as chief minister in the state. Satyajit Senapati joins us now from Rourkela with more. Satyajit, बताइए किस प्रकार की स्थिति है ओडिशा में?
देखिए, जो बात आपने बताई अभी की दूसरे चरण उड़ीसा के दूसरे चरण मतदान जारी है और अभी आधा घंटा से कम समय बच गया है जो मतदान है वो ख़त्म होने के लिए। तब भी आप देख सकते हैं, हमें कुछ दृश्य दिखाते हैं कि अभी भी लंबी कतार में जो लोग हैं वो खड़े हुए हैं अपने वोट देने के लिए, मतदान करने के लिए। क्योंकि सुबह से वोटिंग शुरू हुआ था, ऐसे ही कतार हर बूथ पे लगा हुआ है और सभी बूथ पे जो हम देखेंगे तो बहुत सारे लोग आ रहे हैं और वोटिंग कर रहे हैं। इस बार देखेंगे तो आसपास 80 लाख आसपास जो वोटर्स हैं वो अपने वोट कास्ट कर रहे हैं। इसके लिए 9000 से ज़्यादा जो बूथ्स है वहाँ पर वोटिंग चल रहा है और अभी की जो हालत है कम से कम 50% के आसपास जो वोटिंग है अब अभी हो चुकी है। लेकिन ये पूरे कंप्लीट डाटा नहीं है क्योंकि बहुत सारे बूथ से डाटा अभी तक जो चीफ इलेक्ट्रिकल ऑफिस को नहीं पहुँचा है, तो ये वोटिंग परसेंटेज बढ़ेगा और जैसे अनुमान लगाया जा रहा है कि कम से कम 70% और 70% से ज़्यादा भी वोटिंग हो सकता है। 5 जो पार्लियामेंट्री कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पे ये चुनाव हो रहा है, इसके साथ 35 असेंबली कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पे ये चुनाव हो रहा है। इसके लिए उड़ीसा में आप जानते हैं क्योंकि यहाँ पर जो MP और जो MLA बहुत उम्मीदवार लड़े जाते हैं और यहाँ पर राज्य सरकार के लिए भी कंटेस्ट होता है। जैसे आपने बताया कि 6ठे बार प्राइम मिनिस्टर बनने के लिए नवीन पटनायक जी लड़ रहे हैं, दूसरी तरफ डबल इंजन के बाद बीजेपी भी कर रहा है, तो एक बड़ी मुकाबला दिखाया जा रहा है, बड़ी मुकाबला हो सकता है ऐसे अनुमान किया जा रहा है। इसके चलते हुए लोग वोट भी कर रहे हैं, वोटिंग परसेंटेज भी बढ़ रहा है, तो बहुत सारे अनुमान भी लगाया जा रहा है। और आप देख सकते हैं अभी कि जो शाम बजने का है और 20 मिनट के बाद जो वोटिंग है वह ख़त्म हो जाएगा, लेकिन इसके चलते हुए भी अभी तक जो कतार है वो ख़त्म ही नहीं रहे। बहुत सारे लोग अभी भी क्यू पे खड़े हुए हैं वोट देने के लिए। तो एक कह सकते हैं एक माहौल ऐसा है कि सबसे बड़ी अच्छी बात है कि उड़ीसा में वोटिंग परसेंटेज ज़्यादा है और राउरकेला की जो आप देख रहे हैं तस्वीर देख रहे हैं, यहाँ पर भी बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छा वोटिंग चल रहा है।
Satyajit, बहुत धन्यवाद. That is Satyajit reporting there from Odisha. But let's go across to Parikshit. He's at the magic wall on the significance of the 5th phase of the elections. Parikshit, only 49 seats in this phase of the elections.
That's right. And the BJP last time around in 2019 had won 32 out of 49 seats with a vote share of 41%. The Shiv Sena had won 5, the TMC won 4, 2 went to BJD, and 2 specifically went to the Shiv Sena Uddhav Bal Thackeray faction. Congress had won 1 seat, and this was the seat number 36 in Uttar Pradesh, Rai Bareilly. This time Sonia Gandhi is not contesting from there, but her challenger last time, Dinesh Sharma, is fighting on a BJP ticket, and against him is Rahul Gandhi. Sonia Gandhi has literally appealed to voters in Uttar Pradesh and Raebareli that I'm handing over my son to you. I'm also looking at a very interesting battle in Baramulla where you've got Omar Abdullah, Sajjad Lone in the fray, and this is in North Kashmir, and this is on course for a historic turnout over the last 25 years or so. Over to West Bengal now, where we're seeing an important battle. There are 7 crucial constituencies in West Bengal which are going to polls today. 4 out of 7 were won by the TMC last time around. This includes Hooghly BJP MP Lockit Chatterjee versus Rachna Banerjee of the TMC. Rachna Banerjee is a well-known actress in the region. You also have Sirampur, where Kalyan Banerjee, who's been winning his seat of Sirampur since 2009, he's up against BJP's Kabir Shankar Bose, his former son-in-law. Moving on to Uttar Pradesh now, you've got several interesting contests here in Uttar Pradesh. As I said earlier, only 1 seat had been won in this phase by the Congress party. You've got Lucknow, a seat with Atal Bihari Vajpayee has been winning since 1991. Rajnath Singh won the seat in 2014 and 2019, and he's hoping to win a 3rd term over here as well. You also have Kesarganj. Let's not forget Karan Bhushan Singh, son of MP Brij Bhushan Sharan, who was under a lot of controversy over the last 1 year. He is also contesting here on a BJP ticket. So a lot of here high-profile contests this time. Also in Maharashtra, you've got 13 seats, 6 in Mumbai alone. Piyush Goyal is fighting an election for the first time. He's been called the outsider, but he is saying that he is a strong Mumbaikar who began his career as a chartered accountant here in the city of Mumbai. So all around, we've seen a 74% voting percentage in the state of West Bengal. Again, Ladakh, Jammu and Kashmir, these are states which have seen a high voting percentage. Jharkhand also, interestingly, seeing a high voting percentage. In Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, it's somewhere in the range of 55 to 60%. Let's hope we end with a historic voter turnout as the day ends and wraps up.
All right, Parikshit, many thanks for joining us. We will head into a break, but up next, Iran declares 5 days of mourning after President Ibrahim Raisi is killed in a helicopter crash. That and more when we return. Catch all of CNBC-TV18's news and updates on Facebook, X, Threads, Instagram and JioCinema. Well, the big international story, Iran's President Ibrahim Raisi, along with the country's foreign minister, have been killed in a helicopter crash. The crash took place in the regions bordering Iran and Azerbaijan, killing all 9 people on board. A 5-day state mourning has been declared in Iran, and the country's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, has appointed First Vice Minister Mohammad Mukhbar as the interim president. In a statement, Prime Minister Modi said India stands with Iran in its hour of grief. India has declared a 1-day state mourning. Dan Murphy reports from the Middle East on the helicopter tragedy in Iran.
We've now learned that Iran has declared 5 days of national mourning after state media confirmed that President Raisi, his foreign minister and 7 others on board all died in Sunday's crash. Rescue teams, we also know, struggled to find and reach that wreckage in the mountains near the Azerbaijan border. An Iranian official also telling Reuters that when it was found, the chopper was completely burned in the crash. Now, we still don't know exactly what went wrong here, but bad weather, fog, low light, of course, the harsh terrain as well could all be contributing factors. Iran also has very old civilian and military aircraft due to US and European sanctions, so US intelligence officials believe this was an accident and there was no evidence of foul play. Also, fair to say, though, the timing is very significant, just given the soaring tensions that we've seen in the region since October 7 and the tit-for-tat escalation between Iran and Israel in recent months. I must stress, though, an Israeli official has also told Reuters, quote, "It wasn't us." So the question is, what happens next here? The Vice President, Mohammad Mokhbar, will assume the presidency until an election can be called within the next 50 days. But the real power in Iran is with Ayatollah Khamenei. He's the supreme leader, so no major changes in domestic or foreign policy are expected. And that is neutral for risk assets like oil and gold that I know you've been monitoring over the course of the last hour. I think key to watch from here, Frank, is going to be any reaction from the Iranian proxies, of course, Hezbollah, the Houthis and Hamas, and of course, which countries come forward to express condolence and why. That's what we're looking out for now.
Dan Murphy, thanks very much. Now, the chief prosecutor of the International Criminal Court has sought the arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and the chief of Hamas, Yahya Sinwar. In a statement, the ICC prosecutor said, and I quote, "There is reasonable grounds to believe the Hamas leadership and the Israeli leadership bear criminal responsibility for war crimes and crimes against humanity." In this statement, the prosecutor has named Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu and Defense Minister Gallant. The prosecutor has also named Hamas chief Yahya Sinwar, military commander Mohammad al-Mazri and the political head of Hamas, Ismail Haniyeh. Israel has reacted strongly to the statement from the prosecutor. Moderate Israeli leader Benny Gantz has said, and I quote, "Placing the leaders of a country that went into battle to protect its citizens in the same line with the bloodthirsty terrorists is moral blindness." End of quote. Well, back home, the combined annual profit of India banking sector across 3 lakh crore rupees for the first time. Public sector banks reported a profit of 1.41 lakh crore rupees in FY24. Sapna standing by with more on the banking sector's report card. Sapna.
Well, on expected lines. However, if you look at the public sector bank net profits, 1.41 lakh odd crore is as per the government data as of now. But our internal estimates indicate that the number could be slightly higher, 1.47 lakh odd crore. Having said that, the private sector banks, well, as per government data, they are at around 1.56 lakh crore worth of net profits in the last financial year. However, their growth rate has been much higher in terms of the profit making. So 18% for private sector banks, whereas our own homegrown public sector banks have grown by around 8%. Having said that, what are the reasons for this kind of a performance? Well, public sector banks have shown a massive decline in their net NPAs. This ratio is now around 0.74% last financial year. It's a major dip from the previous financial, that is FY23. Second, they have also reported significant treasury gains. So both these factors put together, this had a major impact on their bottom lines. That has really helped the net profit, so to speak. In comparison, of course, the private sector bank's performance has been better because their lending has been more and there are some other factors. What's going to hold back the PSBs, or what has been a drag kind of a thing, is that a lot of their recoveries are still stuck in NCLT, so that number could have been much better. But, you know, because of those recoveries being stuck, the pace has been slow. So overall, pace of net profits is not as high as was the expectation probably. Also, their operating expenses have been very high in Q4 of FY24. So going forward, you know, we'll have to give a watch on that. Last but not the least, we'll have to wait and watch and see, however, whether this number stops at 3 lakh crore plus, or it comes to around 3.15 lakh odd crore to 3.20 lakh odd crore, simply because some more private sector banks have yet to report their numbers.
All right, Sapna, many thanks for joining us. And before we wrap, diagnostics major Dr. Lal Pathlabs has completed 75 years. Founded in 1949 by Dr. S.K. Lal, the company has grown into a leading player in the region. I spoke with Dr. Arvind Lal and Dr. Om Prakash Manchanda, the men running the company for the last few decades. They asked if we can incentivize semiconductor manufacturing in the country, then why not healthcare? Take a look.
I want to understand from both of you the experience of operating through the pandemic, through COVID times, but more importantly, the lessons that you continue to take away from the way that you managed to keep the business going, the way that you managed to reach out to consumers and continue to operate, function and deliver. What were the biggest lessons? I'll start with you, Dr. Lal.
So first of all, Shireen, I hope and pray that such lessons don't ever come up again. So it changed the way we think, it changed the way we work, and we worked 24/7, and our entire teams never went home to their houses. We hired hotels for their stay. We made other compartments in which we could do some pre-analytical work outside, etc. We made all those kind of things, and so much so that we were one of the first labs to be asked by ICMR to start testing. And in less than 2 years, we expanded that to 20 labs in India where we were doing the RT-PCR. And in the year 1921, I think, or 22, we did nearly 35 lakh RT-PCR tests. So we are capable of growing, but we don't
2021, you mean?
2021, yeah, 2021. And so we don't hope and pray that these times ever come again. But point is that people like Dr. Lal, we came up to those expectations, and we've done millions and literally crores of tests. So we are even in wellness now. If we can go, and if the government gives us a little bit of help, and they understand this is a kind of a...
What is the help that you need?
Well, they have got to incentivize the private people from going there, give them a special status, for example, which was given now, they're given to semiconductors, etc. Why not recognize healthcare as a good industry in which the government can help us? There's so many ways. I don't...
So is capital the constraint?
Not only capital, they should, it's a PPP kind of a model in which the government hospitals which are not up to it we can help them in setting it up or doing the test. It's a very kind of a deep kind of a thing, but it is possible that the government has never used the private arm, which is the biggest. In private practice, we test or we look after more patients, nearly 70% of patients in India are seen by the private people. So this, we can share our experiences with the government and we can arrive at something, which is in between. That whatever they can do, let them do. Whatever they cannot do, you lean on the private people.
Well, that's Dr. Arvind Lal there on the need for incentives, perhaps a special package for the healthcare sector, not just to bridge the access deficit, but also to create employment opportunities. This is a sector that does exactly that. With that, it is time for us to wrap up this edition of India Business Hour. Thanks very much for watching, but do stay tuned. There's a lot more coming up right here on CNBC TV 18. For now, we'll see you in a minute.